remember the days I was reading the books of Jules Verne. He always dealt with characters that were very inventive, very adventurous, and that was the beginning of what I wanted to see for a representation of Forefront. Forefront is a high-tech company located in New Jersey. We have been in business more than 20 years, and we are at the forefront of a movement that is called digital transformation, where we enable companies to be in the cloud. That's what we do. We take people to the cloud. When we finished construction of this building, there was one area that I was not so sure what I was going to do. We had an opportunity to come up with something that could represent what we were all about. And our team is all about can-do. I mean, we're dealing with new stuff, things that nobody has done before. So a little bit like Jules Verne. I mean, he had the vision. Too bad for him, he could not do it because at that time the technology was not there. So we really felt that was a good connection for the team.
I'm Bruce Rosenbaum, Steampunk reimagineer of ModVic, and I fuse history plus art plus technology. I met my client Michel around 7 years ago, and at the time Michel came up to me, big steampunk fan, and he actually bought this really cool steampunk cell phone. And so we were talking about kind of what he was potentially looking for. And I was thinking, well, the company name is Forefront, it has to do with clouds, maybe there's some type of airship or steampunk dirigible that would make sense for hanging in his building. And then it kind of hit me, Jules Verne and clouds. Well, in 1887, Jules Verne wrote a book, Clipper of the Clouds. It's like this eureka moment, like all that came together. And he loved the idea once I shared it with him. And basically the idea is, it's almost like Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues with Nemo and the Nautilus, but it's in the air.
Initially, Bruce had contacted Michael about a specific project having to do with a client of his, and he had wanted to build a replica of a boat from one of Jules Verne's stories. And of course, we had no idea what that was. We had to go look that up. Thank God for Google. And it was fun to sort of see how a simple idea could be transformed into a visual project.
It was truly a good collaboration, and it felt at times like each one were adding a layer on top of the other one in terms of creativity, in terms of ideas, of things, of what we could do. The details are antiques from the early 1900s. Even the compressor that is being used as a main mechanism to turn all the rotors, it's a Art Deco piece of the 1930s that is very unique.
I feel like a lot of times when we have a project in the studio, it's overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff going on in the studio itself. Tons of parts and junk, and it's tough to separate the actual piece that you're working on. So it's always exciting to bring it to its final resting place and seeing it separate from everything else, white walls. It really takes on a whole different energy.
What's exciting about this project is that it tells the story of Forefront. It tells the story of the company in a really creative way that fuses history plus art plus technology. This ship is a real inspiration for the employees. But even more important is that it really creates an incredible first impression for clients who come into the space and see this beautiful, creative sculpture that is hanging prominently in their building.
So the first thing as you walk into the building you're going to see is actually the bottom, the hull. You really get to see the details of the clipper when you get to the second floor, and what we have built here are some glass openings. I call them slice of time, that you go through and take a look at the different details on this ship.